Hello, Patch here. So this is my compound bow. I'm a newbie. I've been shooting about 4 months, and I'm just going to run you through what I've done for this. Is extremely entry level for somebody very first time starting with archery, because it is my very first time starting archery. So what I did was, oh by the way, happy Paddy's Day. It's 17th of March 2023. I wanted to get into archery because I tore my bicep training, so I wanted to do something that I thought I would enjoy. I had a look at a few things, and I've always done something, be it motorcycle, snowboarding, soccer, anything at all, training, weights training, and I thought archery looked really interesting to me. So I wanted to buy a bow, but I didn't know whether I'd like archery or not. So because of that, I thought I'd buy a very entry level, very basic entry level, and that's what I bought. I bought this bow. It's a Sanlida Dragon X8. I don't know whether you can see that. And I bought it for a few reasons. Primarily because it was cheap. It was so cheap. But it also comes as a package. And there's a couple of bows out there you can buy as a package, which means that it comes with everything you need, including a release what clips onto this to let it go, so you can actually fire the arrows. You can put it together, go out into a field, have a target, and fire straight away out of the box. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to buy this particular package. The second reason, did I mention it was really cheap? The second reason was because this particular bow does not need a bow press. If your string breaks, typically you either have to bring it to an archery shop for them to restring it. But with this bow, you can wind down the actual the limbs on the bow right here using an Allen key. You can wind the bow down to 0. So this is completely flapping around, and you could change the string yourself if you wanted, as long as you have a spare string. It's no big deal. So with that in mind, I bought the bow, and it's been fantastic. The archery in general is just amazing. Now, this bow here, I've literally changed every component on the bow bar the sight. As I'm shooting about 5 months now, I think it's 5 months, and as I'm watching YouTube shows and I'm watching how to become more accurate, better target archer, the things that you're doing, I love everything about the archery thing, the mechanics of the archery, everything. There's, when you see an archer with a compound bow shoot a shot at say 60-70 yards, and he's hitting very close to bullseyes or bullseyes, what you say is, for a layman, they would look at that and say, man, he's really good at archery, he's got a great eye, whatever like that. Whereas when I look at after what I know after 5 months, when I look at a person who's shot a bow at 70 yards and he's hitting bullseyes, I'm thinking, wow, he's tuned that bow to himself. He's made that bow his own. Not to take away from the fact that he's really good at archery, but you have to tune the bow to yourself, which is something that a shop cannot do. Between the D loop here and the actual peep sight, which is here where you look through, that can only be done because it's the length of your own personal face. You know, it's the statistics of your face, it's the dynamics of your face, your draw weight, what you feel comfortable at drawing. That's all personal preference. Your draw length down to how long from your hand out here to your hand back here. Again, you have to get this down to what's right for you, to within 5 or at most probably 10 millimeters. And this is something that a shop cannot do for you. This is something you have to do for yourself. So with that in mind, I'm able to shoot at the moment. I'm able to shoot about 60 yards within a group of about 10 inches, maybe. I might have one flyaway, maybe 12, 13 inches. But what that, in a sense, means I'm not losing arrows. So I'm able to shoot at 60 yards without losing arrows, which is extremely good for me. I'm close to 5 months now doing this, and I'm just going to run you through what extras I put on this bow that got me to that stage. So initially starting out, I was shooting 20 yards, 30 yards, and I was losing arrows everywhere. And when I say losing arrows, I'm not saying I missed. When you shoot in a soft ground field and you shoot an arrow and you miss, more often than not, you're not finding that arrow. The arrow will actually go right through. This is a 30-inch arrow. Will go right through the ground, all the way through, right through to the fletchings. You won't even see the fletchings. So you cannot find the arrow after that. So I lost probably close to, I'd say, a couple of €100 worth of arrows just by missing them. Oh, son of a... So as I was shooting, I decided to, watching YouTube videos, shout out to the likes of Chris B and John Dudley. Their videos are so much information in them. But which would be the best and cheapest starting point to go to get more accurate? So initially, when I was shooting, the best way forward to get more accurate and the cheapest way to improve, everything was done in very small increments. And the best way was a new peep sight, the standard issue peep sight. But this is a Chinese bow. As regards Chinese bow, it's a Chinese riser, the part from here to here. But the limbs, which are actually these parts here, are actually American. So the riser itself is just one solid piece of metal, milled piece of metal. The limbs are where the actions actually happen. So the Americans seem to have a handle on this. They really know their stuff when it comes to that. So that made me a little bit easier as regards going for this particular bow, because I didn't think it would blow up in my face straight away, straight off the bat. But the first thing I did was I changed the peep sight. And the peep sight is this part here. This is where you look through. When you pull on the D loop, which is this, the peep sight comes around and lines up with your eye so you can aim and shoot. The standard issue, now you can imagine this as being a Chinese bow and a bottom of the basement bin market stuff that, although the bow itself is quite good, every accessory on this is as cheap as chips. It's unbelievably cheap. So they're not going to put the time or effort into making anything particularly good. But so I changed the peep sight, and changing the peep sight alone, which is about a $10 on Amazon piece of kit, although fitting it is a little bit trickier. You have to watch a couple of videos on that one. That changed that, made my accuracy a lot better. I got from 20 yards losing arrows to 20 yards not losing arrows. Then I went to maybe 30 yards. And I changed the next one I changed was actually the rest. This is where the arrow sits. If you can imagine, the arrow sits in here. It's Paddy's Day. So the arrow sits in here onto the D loop. You pull back, that's where it goes. This is actually a drop away rest. As you can see, as the kinetic energy from the bow, as you release, knocks this down, and none of the fletchings, they pass through completely without touching anything. Prior to this, I had the factory standard rest, which was it's like a whisker biscuit where the fletchings are touching, but it's a hybrid whisker biscuit, but only touches in 3 places, of a little bit loose. Once I changed that, that was a game changer. That got me up to 50-yard shots where I wasn't losing any arrows. It was fairly consistent to be able to keep it in I know this grouping looks, if anybody who's anyway decent at archery is listening to this, this looks ridiculous, but that was my grouping. But at 50 yards, my grouping was like this. I wasn't losing arrows, so it was okay. I didn't mind. Next time round, I got the front stabilizer. This is a front stabilizer. This is a rear stabilizer. So at the moment, I've got a Trophy Ridge 10-inch front stabilizer, an 8-inch Trophy Ridge rear stabilizer. Once I changed the stabilizer from the stubby 4-inch stabilizer that was standard on from the factory setting, brilliant. The grouping went from 12 inches down to maybe 10, 8, maybe on a good day, just by the front stabilizer alone. At the moment, I've just fitted the rear stabilizer to it. I still have to shoot it and adjust the rear stabilizer to find out whether or not this is going to make it any better. I'm not sure. I have to fiddle around with it to see. I think what I'm looking for is as soon as you pull and you get your anchor points and you're ready to shoot, your spirit level bubble should literally go to the center, just in a natural position. That's what you're looking for with the rear stabilizer. I'll keep you updated on whether or not this works. Everything else that I've added onto it has incrementally made it better. Now, I'm not sure whether it's the kit that I'm putting onto the bow, or it's the fact that I'm so new at archery that I'm just getting better with the muscle memory and just the action alone of shooting, and just the idea of just practicing a lot. So we will see, but I'm hoping that this will improve my grouping and my shooting. Anyway, that's it. So if you like this, give us a comment below and I'll make more stuff like this. Anyway, for now, boysy boysy.